Liverpool are the Premier League champions. They celebrated after they won the league in the game against Spurs a few weeks ago. Now they celebrated yesterday at Anfield when they were presented with the Premier League trophy. And they'll be celebrating again today when they have their parade in Liverpool city centre. And there for us, as the crowds start to assemble with, an hour or so to go until it all gets underway, is JJ.
Hi guys, here I am on the second floor of the Cunard building here on Liverpool's waterfront. A very impressive building, equally as impressive as our vantage point where we can look right down the street and already 6 people deep the fans are lining up, which is fantastic considering that the parade officially doesn't start until 2:30 this afternoon. The parade is going to be about 10 miles long. It's going to reported to take between 3 and 5 hours to complete, starting in Allerton Maze and ending in Liverpool's city centre. The reports are that there are going to be between 500,000 and 750,000 people lining the streets of this brilliant city to cheer on their heroes, parading that Premier League trophy that is much coveted. And as you can imagine, a city where football is everything. They are already in fine fettle. The songs are being sung. I can smell that smoke in the air. The flags are waving. It is going to be a truly incredible afternoon for everybody associated with Liverpool.
It is going to be incredible, and that was filmed a little while ago as well. And there's still an hour to go to the start of the parade. That is going to be, as he said, hundreds of thousands of people. They've had a big music festival in Liverpool this weekend as well, so there's expected to be 500,000 people in the city. The population of Liverpool isn't that big, so it's going to be a big... And all the Evertonians have left for the weekend, so it's going to be a big weekend. The season has been incredible for Liverpool, and that wasn't where the expectations were at the start of August, when Arne took over from Jurgen Klopp. He took over a squad that now we're saying is an excellent squad, but at the start of the season we're saying, yeah, it's good. It's a very good squad. I don't think there was as much praise for it.
No. I think that at the start of the season people were saying, we'll see how he does, because this is a very good squad. Jurgen Klopp's left him with a fantastic squad, and how is he going to get them to play? Was he going to try and change the way they play? So from a Jurgen Klopp rock and roll style with all the pressing and everything, was he going to change? And yeah, he did. Change it a bit. They played a little bit more football, and you got Gravenberch coming in, and he was magnificent. And for him to take that team without changing anyone, without bringing anyone apart from Chiesa in, and just let them, he let them go. It's like an experienced manager saying, well, it's not broken here. Don't need to do anything, just maybe move some things about a bit. You know, obviously, like I mentioned, Gravenberch coming in and Curtis Jones playing his part. People playing their part, Mo Salah in the season of his life. He didn't do anything but gave them the belief that how good they were. And then they had a great start to the season. Everyone was talking about, Liverpool, it's an easy start. Let's see what they do with this game. Let's see what they do with that game. And they kept winning them. And so you thought to yourself, they've got so much experience in there, especially down the spine. They could do it if Liverpool can keep going, and they did. And for me, they were the best team in the end.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, obviously, but now I looked at every pundit's predictions before that. Nobody picked Liverpool. Nobody fancied them.
And in hindsight, people didn't even have them in the top 4 as well.
We all look back now and think, why? All of those players...
Only could have been, Mike, because Schlott's coming in and people...
That's the only thing, right?
Maybe.
Because the rest of it... But why should that change so much? Because all of these players are experienced. They've all won every single trophy there is to win. Champions Leagues, everything. They've won the lot. So why would we actually sit there, apart from the manager, and think, oh, wow, they've got no chance? They've done it before. This exact team have done it before. So it's... Yeah. And they've absolutely walked it. They won it.
I think what they showed, the Kells, is that they still had the hunger and the stamina for it. And then they were coming in, they wanted a new manager to come in. When a new manager comes in, you say, all right, let's see what he's about. And then once he starts impressing, you think, yep, he's lit the fire again. And then, bam, everybody responded in the dressing room. And you could see after 12, 15 games that, yeah, it's going to be Liverpool's season.
And that's the thing, is the way everybody's sort of describing it now sounds so logical, sounds so easy. They've got a partnership, one of their commercial partners, they've done a piece on their social media, Liverpool, where the players are sort of going around going, it's easy. That's how we like it, it's easy. And it's sort of taking the mickey out of that kind of, like you said, the hindsight of going back and going, obviously they were going to do this. Obviously it was going to be straightforward. But is there something in the way that Slot has set the team up that allows these players to kind of, one, keep their fitness across the season, keep their energy across the course of 90 minutes that is a bit less exhausting than what Jurgen Klopp was doing?
Well, definitely with Mo Salah. Mo Salah's come out himself and says, I'm not asked to defend like I used to under Jurgen Klopp. It was full thrust going that way, but also you've got to get back and defend as well. He's getting on in age, of course, and you've got to change a little bit. I think someone like Trent Alexander-Arnold starting to go a lot into midfield under Klopp, building, from right back into midfield. Jordan Henderson would fill in a lot of the time. Now he's pretty much staying in that, or he was staying in that position at right. He has made slight tweaks, right? He's right, and there wasn't so gung-ho, much more methodical, probably a little bit slower in their build-up, but they don't concede as many chances and shots. It's all a little bit more organised. So there's are definite tweaks, and as I say, when you look back, you think as long as the manager doesn't ruin things and what's happened over the last 7 or 8 years under Jurgen Klopp, then why shouldn't they have won something? They've done it all before. They've been there, seen it and done it. So in hindsight, it's smacking us in the face, and I just can't believe that nobody actually went for it and said, you know what, I fancy Liverpool for the season, for the league this season, because none of us did. And I think it can only be the manager. We were waiting to see, because Jurgen Klopp was so good. And because we've seen in the past the likes of Fergie, the likes of Wenger, managers that have been there for that long period of time, and we've seen what happens immediately after they leave, they've all gone to rubble, all of them. So I think that was sort of, certainly in the back of my mind, thinking after 8 years, hearing the same thing to get something totally different now, might be a shock to the system. They might need time to learn. But they didn't, and they're experienced players, and we shouldn't have doubted them.
Nope. And even the new player that came, Federico Chiesa, hasn't really played any minutes in the Premier League for Liverpool, and as you say, he's moved. Ryan Gravenberch changed position for him, and tweaked, like a Cody Gakpo or someone like that has sort of tweaked things at the club, and it feels now as though having won their second Premier League trophy in 5 years, and having been in title races in those all bar one season, I think, in between those times, does it feel as though this is a continued level of success for Liverpool, and having won trophies in that time as well?
I think it could be, because Jeremy Frimpong is going to come in at right back from Bayer Leverkusen.
We believe.
We believe.
Florian Wirtz, we believe.
Wow, Florian Wirtz is an interesting one.
That'd be a brilliant sign.
He's versatile in those attacking areas. He's going to cost a huge amount of money, into 9 figures, and that would be a real statement of intent for Liverpool in terms of the expenditure and the calibre of player, and the way that he's going to improve them as well. The expectation is that they're going to sell Darwin Núñez and bring someone else in as well. So I think the way that he's moving the club forward is a huge reliance on the players, and the man management that comes with managing a club like Liverpool. That is such a big beast in terms of domestic and European world football. But he's got the temperament to be able to handle that, and that's why I think it could be an era of continued success.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they've got a lot of money as well. I think they've got a lot of money. They never spent anything apart from Chiesa. That was nothing really. I think they've not spent anything for a good while. I think they've got money. I think there'll be a few players. You mentioned Núñez. Kelleher, the goalkeeper, he's going to go. What they're going to get for him? 30, 40 million.
Yeah, but Mamadashvili's coming in, so
that was done last year. I mean, they're freeing up, and there'll be 1 or 2, players around the fringes that'll go there. I reckon they're going to be bringing in 100 million plus, and they've already got some money that they haven't spent for a while. And I like the way Liverpool are doing it, to win and then to go for it and to strengthen from a position of strength. That's. I
love the way that they when they work. If they have, so if it is going to be Florian Wirtz and whoever it's going to be, is out. You kind of hear about it, then all of a sudden, bam, it's done. It's not like, oh, we didn't get him, we'll go for him.
Yes.
This is why...
they do it early
like that
as
with
well.
They do it early,
didn't they?
And a lot of the big players that have solved problems for Liverpool, they've just been really decisive. Van Dijk, centre-half, Alisson in goal. When they want a player to solve a problem, they go top shelf, bam, and they bring him in. And that's why I think that it's going to be an era of continued success for them.
On Trent Alexander-Arnold, talking about players who won't be there next season. It was really emotional for him at Anfield. He did get the send-off that he would have hoped that he would get, and we saw how much it meant to him. He's clearly very emotional anyway. We saw him when Jurgen Klopp left, who's sort of his footballing father, if you like, last season. And now he's leaving the club that he's been at for 20 years, 6 years old to 26. He was booed in the last home game where the fans kind of made their frustration and disappointment clear that he was leaving. And there was some anger in there as well. But this time around, it was a lot more supportive of Trent Alexander-Arnold. And it was a lot. I think he would have gone into that not knowing what to expect. And as someone who's played for Liverpool and Real Madrid and felt that kind. No, but you felt both of those things from that crowd. He wouldn't have slept
the night before. He would have been going in the dressing room at half time and the manager saying, right, you're going on at half time, and him thinking, oh no. And you could see in his face as soon as they said coming on, Trent Alexander-Arnold, you could see. And the feeling when you don't get booed, when you feel your own people actually love you, and you know all those 20 years wasn't almost wasted in many ways, because that's how you feel. I know your trophies will always remain and your memories will always remain, but going on a sour note is just the worst thing that can happen when you've put your heart and soul into it.
You know, the thing is, Mike, when I was waiting, because, you know, they called your name up for you, and I was so nervous.
Oh. Yes.
Right, because you could see he kind of like looked like he was getting himself ready for whatever's going to come. And when they cheered, what made me feel nice is, I've said it, that's very out of character for Liverpool fans in respects of booing their own players, and you heard it was worldly. Everybody said it was everybody's around the world saying that's not like Liverpool fans, but to know that Liverpool fans have got together, it's been sorted out of different places, people talking to each other, and then bam, for him to get that kind of ovation was beautiful. It made me very emotional.
And Jurgen Klopp did an amazing job.
Jeez, yeah.
Did you see his speech beforehand?
I thought that was quite risky because he came out and he said there was an event at Liverpool Cathedral, and he said,
magnificent, Kels.
When I heard the crowd booing Trent, I turned the television off. And I thought, that's not who we are. And I thought that was risky because Jurgen Klopp has chosen to leave the club. And so from afar, while he's working for the Red Bull Group, to say, this is who Liverpool is, felt like quite a risky move. Do you think that was taken on board by the fans?
I think if anyone could do that, he could do it. Because it's still very fresh in their minds. Jurgen could probably get away with that. Now, maybe if it was years to come, they'd say, what's he saying? But right now, because he knows and he was so close to Trent not so long ago, he genuinely couldn't believe it. So he's speaking probably from the heart.
It was so emotional.
Probably from the heart,
he was brave, courageous, and I tell you what, I bet you Trent Alexander-Arnold is just, oh my word, thank you so much, boss, for saying that, because that might have been the difference from a few boos to just, you know.
Absolutely.
And it was so said with such passion, like only Jurgen Klopp can. I thought it was absolutely on the money and brilliant to see.
Yeah, a lovely way for Trent Alexander-Arnold to end his time at Liverpool, lifting the Premier League trophy and, of course, with the...
Oh, sorry. It's not everyone that's frozen. All right, so that's a shame. Pictures dropped out there. I just thought I'd give poor director a little funny turn. OK, we're going to go back there. The pictures are up and hopefully they are moving.
Yes, we are moving. Look, sorry we dropped out there, but we were just talking about Mo Salah, actually. No. Hopefully you caught the rest of what you said about the rest of the squad coming in. But Mo Salah, 29 goals, picked up the Golden Boot. It's been a special season for him. He's also, been involved in the most goals as well. He's getting right at the top of that table now. Arne Slot has brought out something different in him this season, which I guess probably he didn't even know he had in himself.
He's kind of been freed up a little bit from defensive responsibilities. Yeah. He had to work a bit harder, I think, under Jurgen Klopp, and under Arne Slot he's been given a bit more licence to not track back so much as well. Maybe I exposed Trent Alexander-Arnold a little bit more at times this season, but certainly he's produced. I think Mo talked about it, Arne Slot talked about it as well. They had a few chats through the summer. There was a lot of times that Mo Salah was in his office as well, and it was trying to work out the best way. And basically, if he's freed up from his defensive responsibilities, then he certainly had to produce the numbers, and he's done that. It was 47 goal involvements, equaling the record for a Premier League season as well. It's more than repayment for what Arne Slot has been able to do with him. And again, I think you listen to Mo. I spoke to him earlier last week, actually, ahead of the Football Writers Award, where he picked up the Football Writers Footballer of the Year, and he was again talking about how important winning this Premier League was, but then looking ahead to next season, they've still got a lot of ambition within that squad, and that's a common theme coming out of them. They want to win more. Virgil van Dijk said afterwards as well, this has just got to be the start once again. We've got to build on this, almost through what City. That's the example to follow at the moment, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd say, speaking to Arne Slot on Friday as well, he talked about, actually, he didn't say that he had regrets, but there was things that he thinks that he can do better. One of which that he's never navigated a winter break before, not having a winter break before. And so he said that the fact that they lost against Newcastle and PSG in that March time, he felt that that's what that was due to, and he needs to rotate. So you were saying the fact that he'll have to rotate more potentially bring in new players, but we don't expect to see masses of changes though in the summer, or do we? Because you spoke to Tom Werner, didn't you? And he said this is going to be a big summer for Arne Slot.
He said it's been a big summer already. I suppose they look at it as well and thinking getting Mo Salah tied down to a new deal and Virgil van Dijk tied down to a new deal is big business for them as well, looking ahead then to the summer. Now, again, I think the reason that people like Virgil and Mo have committed their future to the club is because they know there is that ambition to add further improvements to the squad. There will be little tweaks to other things behind the scenes, like Arne Slot was alluding to as well, just how he does navigate without a winter break and make sure that his players are still in tip-top condition to go again, particularly when it comes to those big European nights. Once again, not that Liverpool played particularly badly against PSG. Yeah, it was a struggle that first leg, but they came away with a 1-0 win. And then I thought they played really well at home, certainly in the 90 minutes. And in that 90 minutes, you thought they deserved to possibly go through. Then extra time was very different. At the same time, with those improvements they're going to make in the squad, I mean, someone like Frimpong coming in, for instance, adds something a little bit different to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Doesn't have his range of passing, but has other attributes going forward as well that maybe Trent doesn't have, and maybe a little bit more defensively as well, so that will be different for them. Again, a little bit more backup for Andy Robertson. We'll see what happens with Kostas Tsimikas, of course, and again, I mentioned that forward line and the calibre of player they're looking at there. So it's just a really interesting summer for Liverpool, exactly how that squad is going to be reshaped and what it looks like at the start of the season, because I think it is going to be quite a bit different to what it is at this stage. Yet they've got that spine, that core, but I think on the fringes, on the outer areas, then it's going to be really, really interesting exactly what Arne Slot has at his disposal, I think, at the start of next campaign.
Well, that's the question, I guess, that Arne Slot wants the answers to. Let's just have a listen to what Tom Werner told you last night.
Extraordinary. We obviously had high hopes for the season, but he's been an extraordinary coach. I think there's maybe 3 coaches that in the Premier League who won in their first season, and Arne's one of them, and he just is an extraordinary leader.
How has it been so seamless, though? Because we all thought it was going to be such a tough act to follow, Jurgen Klopp.
I think that, again, great compliment to Arne. He is authentic. He's not trying to be somebody else, and obviously the team was an extraordinarily good team, but he brought the best out of them.
Now that you've received the Premier League trophy, what's the next step? How do you go again, I suppose? How do you support Arne once again this summer as well?
Well, we go again, and it never gets old winning, and we owe it to all of our supporters to bring back a team even better next year.
So how busy a summer can we expect in terms of transfers?
Already busy.
Busy, he says. Look, we're just going to celebrate 20 titles for Liverpool today, but I know, Rob, you are celebrating 27 years of outstanding broadcasting. So I just want to hand back to you for the last time ever, Rob. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to work alongside you.
I'll echo that too, Rob.
Oh, thank you both. And that's really nice. Thank you. And it's lovely of Liverpool to put on a reception for Sue and Stephen when they get back to celebrate the end of the football show. Yeah. That's what they're all waiting for. Lovely. You're going to drive down there, open top car, wave.
Like the Pope.
Yeah.
One of them.
Oh, no, it's for their title win. Oh, dear.
It's a shame.
Disappointing. Stephen, they ended with a draw. The last few results, that doesn't take anything away from what has been a magnificent, and quite right to enjoy the last few games and just it not to matter.
Yeah, I think the great thing that Arne Slot has done is so often people say, well, now we want to try and break a record to get so many points, or we want to carry on, and he has enjoyed the moment. and let the players enjoy the moment. And I think sometimes you can let it almost fizzle out a little bit and say, no, we're not celebrating until the last game of the season, until we pick that trophy up. We've seen the scenes of the players out in, I think they were in Dubai, and then Arne Slot took his staff to Ibiza, and they've enjoyed the celebrations. They've done it at the right time, and I just think, why not enjoy the moments? Because so often we look back on careers and we think we don't enjoy moments enough. And we let them we have too much of a focus on other things. They've enjoyed the title campaign so far and winning it, and they've certainly enjoyed it yesterday.
Yeah, certainly did. Another goal, Sue, for Mo Salah there, which means he's equalled the Premier League goal involvement record. There's a thing. Of course, he signed that new deal. I wonder, though, going forward, whether Liverpool really can continue to rely on him in the way they have done, not just this season, but in seasons gone by.
Well, he's been incredible, hasn't he? It's his goals, it's his assists, it's that consistency of being able to do that season on season. And I think he will want to do exactly the same next year. He seems like he's that type of character. He wants to keep beating records and performing at that top level for as long as he possibly can. I think Liverpool have got competition for places in those forward areas. I think they've got goals from elsewhere, and he certainly will be looking again next season, like I say, to go on and produce something similar.
I think what you might see next year is a little bit of a change in how many games he plays. I think they might try and freshen things up a little bit more often and not try and be... It's hard because you are reliant on him because he's so productive, and his record speaks for itself. He is Mr. Reliable in that respect. He's so fit in the way he is, but you look at potentially signing Wirtz, and then you look at where Szoboszlai could play high on the right if Wirtz is to play in that central position. Frimpong's an interesting one as well. What position is he going to play? Is he a like-for-like replacement for Trent Alexander-Arnold? But then what does that do to Conor Bradley? We've seen Frimpong play this season as a wing-back for Bayer Leverkusen, but he hasn't just played as a wing-back. He's also played that higher position, the top out the three on the right-hand side, where Salah plays. So is he almost going to be one of them players that is going to play a couple of positions, and he gives Arne Slot a lot of strength and depth in the squad to be able to rotate a little bit more, and that might just give more of an edge to Salah and more fitness as well to him to last longer as well during the season, because there was a little bit of a dip in and around the Paris Saint-Germain games. Before yesterday, he hadn't scored in eight games leading into that in open play. So you look at that and you think there are things that he'll look to improve. Arne Slot's always talking about, this is a team that's won the title, but how can we improve it? And maybe there are little things that he might be able to do along the way.
What we do know is Trent Alexander-Arnold will not be there next season. OK, you were at the game.
Yeah.
The reception he received when he came on, what did you make of it? And how much do you think that was down to the comments from Jurgen Klopp in the build-up to this?
Not sure, to be honest with you, about what effect it would have had from Jurgen Klopp. I think it might have made a few people alert to the situation and made them think about it a little bit different. I was delighted for him. Absolutely made up. It's probably the hardest decision he's ever made in his life. And you look at the emotion after the game and what it meant to him, and that reception meant to him as well. He put on an absolute display of how to pass a ball yesterday. The range of passing was phenomenal. And he almost said to Liverpool fans, this is what you're going to miss. And boy, are they going to miss someone special, because his range of passing is outrageous. I mean, I was sat there, and at times I was just gobsmacked. Some of the passes he was playing, not many. I mean, I can only think of really De Bruyne, who's capable of playing them passes in the Premier League. His range of passing is just phenomenal.
Beckham at his pomp, was he as good at that?
Absolutely, yeah. But he has got that range of passing. When yesterday Klopp almost changed the system when Gravenberch went off, or just before, when he took Konate off and put Gravenberch in the back, and he almost said to Trent, go and sit in that centre midfield and just spray the ball left, right and centre. It's like a quarterback. Brilliant. Just such a good player.
Yeah.
OK. We talked Salah, we talked Trent going. Huge. They were just talking about that, the parade, a huge summer for Liverpool. OK, what does Arne Slot do in this transfer window? And do you get the feeling that this Liverpool side can go on and dominate?
It's going to be huge, isn't it? I mean, what we're seeing already is it's almost like the old Liverpool, where they're trying to get the business done really early, and that's what Michael Edwards was always known for, and something that he's gone back into the club, and Richard Hughes is now in charge of trying to do the same types of deals early on. It looks like they could potentially get 3 through the door before the end of next week, which is incredible business, and if you believe what people are saying, it could be another 3 through the door. So there's going to be sales as well. It depends who they get rid of. The type of money that they can raise probably determines who they can go in the market for the other 3 players. So I think it's a really exciting time for Liverpool. It's one of them where also as well, other clubs will be thinking, well, we've got to strengthen, but they've just won the league and they're strengthening even more with not 1 player, but 5 or 6 players. That's a statement from Liverpool.
Sue is suddenly delighted that her stint on the football show is coming to an end. Right. Liverpool.
Ya saltan 1K y el Barrio. Es determinante cuánto daño puede hacer el conjunto de 1K, sobre todo con Granero en esas primeras de cambio en la salida de escalera. Así que esa parte del partido va a ser absolutamente clave para el equipo de Iker Casillas. Por cierto, felicitar porque ha venido una buena afición de 1K.
Tiene la pelota Gerard Noya en cara, sigue Noya, dispara, Arnalot.
80 paradas.
paradas ya para Arnalot. Gil Vidal ataca desde la derecha el número 9. Gil Vidal con el centro, buena pelota, Arche, con la rodilla le pegó. Pues es el que desatasca un poco el partido, ¿no? Con centros, ojo ahí, ese golpeo, el remate, ¡gol! ¡Mar Valiente! ¡Gol! ¡Del Barrio! ¡Marca Mar Valiente! Esa banda izquierda que es terreno de los cañonazos de Granero, a la que tengo un mínimo espacio, le pega Granero. Bueno, pues es decirlo, y ahí lo tenemos. El tema es que el remate le ha salido centrado. Abraham, buena pelota, banda derecha. Vamos a ver qué hace ahí Fran Rodríguez. Se mete en el área, sigue Fran. ¡Qué bien, Fran! Se va de 2, el remate fuera.
¡Chicos!
A ver si acierta. ¡Claro que
Mira
sí!
acá.
Busca el Barrio el segundo gol. Arche para Gil. Gil que le puede pegar a este Gil. Buen recorte. ¡Gil! ¡Al palo! ¡Levanta Arche!
¡Dios! ¡No! Madre mía, qué parada. Y a centímetros del remate, ¿eh?
No, la reacción ha sido impresionante. ¡El disparo! ¡Madre de Dios! ¡Otro que vuela! ¡Otro más! Que está la pelota para John de la Cruz, la quiere levantar, vuelve a pegar la pelota en el cuerpo de un jugador del Barrio, el remate con la puntera y acaba deteniendo a Gerard Vacas. Será córner favorable a 1K. Bueno, a ver.
Gol doble.
A ver, saque de banda. Balón puesto en movimiento, intentaba rematar Mar Valiente, el remate, ¡gol! ¡Bauer! ¡Gol!
Y es
penalti
¡madre
normal.
mía lo de los penaltis!
Penalti normal. Y el que quiere hacer el 0-3 es el número 4, pega Valiente. ¡Vaya cañón! ¡Gol! Ahí están Arnalot y Vacas como candidatos, como guardametas, y también Mar Valiente y Pau Ferojo con la recuperación. Tiene la pelota al Barrio que puede sentenciar el remate. ¡Gol!
Knockout.
¡Gol!
¡Let's go, Barrio! Ponme el 5.
El cambio del partido ha sido radical en los últimos 10 minutos. El balón que lo tiene. ¡Ojo!
¡Ay! Jaimitada.
Marca de nuevo el Barrio, gol de Fran Fuentes. El equipo de Juan Arroita, que no ganaba un encuentro con esta tranquilidad, entre comillas, al final, con un margen tan amplio, con 2 goles dobles que han hecho pasar el partido del 0-3 al 0-7.
Paufer, ha costado, pero por fin ha llegado esa victoria tan deseada con goleada.
Ha costado mucho, pero bueno, le damos emoción hasta el momento final, recta final, y ahora, pase lo que pase con Pío, nos lo jugaremos contra ellos.
Eso te iba a decir, pase lo que pase con Pío, la semana que viene, o ellos, o tú, o tu ex equipo, o tú.
Bueno, o el Barrio o ellos, pero sí. La vida, yo qué sé, no sé, son cosas muy raras que suceden, pero ahí estaremos. Ahora estoy en el Barrio, así que espero que gane el Barrio.
Enhorabuena y a disfrutarlo.
Gracias.